Alright here, today I'm going to make my NASCAR driver lineup for the 2021 season. But before I go any further, I want to give a special thank you to everyone that has supported me throughout the years. Ever since I started the channel back in 2017, my goal was to hit 1,000 subscribers one day, and eventually that day came earlier this week. It was a big milestone. It was awesome to see the number go from 999 to 1,000. It was awesome. I just can't thank everyone enough. And let's get started with this video.
Ryan Priest, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
Alright here, this is going to be a little lengthy. So everybody kick back and relax and enjoy. But we're going to start off here with the 00, which is right now driven by Quinn Half. But Quinn Half hasn't been having the best of seasons, especially when you look at that 00 car with Landon Castle back in 2019, where Castle was running top 30 week in and week out, but Quinn Half is now magically finding himself outside the top 35, which is a big downgrade for that organization. But saying that, though, I think they're going to move on from Quinn Half this offseason. But who are they going to pick up? I think it's going to be Brennan Poole. Brennan Poole right now is the driver of the 15 car, which is owned by, I guess you can say, Rick Ware Racing. The season it started off being owned by Premium Motorsports, but they sold that team and charter to Rick Ware. So I guess you can say he's in a Rick Ware Chevy, and he's outrunning the 51, 52, 53 cars week in and week out. So he's outdoing his teammates by a big margin. So I'm sure Derek Cope and the Starcom Racing people are keeping a close eye on Brennan Poole on every single move he makes this offseason. They're going to try to get him, I think. So there you go. Brennan Poole to the 00. But next, the one car of Kurt Busch, that's going to stay the same. And then you get the 2 of Brad Keselowski, which is going to stay the same for at least another year. He signed a 1-year contract extension following the New Hampshire race where Keselowski won. And that turned a lot of heads whether or not he's going to resign. And he did resign for another year. The 3 car is going to stay the same for Austin Dillon. The 6 car is going to stay the same with driver Ryan Newman, who is really consistent in that 6 car. And then after that, you're going to have the 8 car of Tyler Reddick stay the same, who is really impressive. He's going to have some big things happening in 2021. He's going to grab a couple wins, more than likely. He's a really good driver. And I'm glad Richard Childress decided to keep him instead of letting him go and put Ty Dillon in that car. Ty Dillon has found his place with Germain Racing. I think big things are going to happen there eventually. It's just going to take some time. But the 9 car is going to stay the same with driver Chase Elliott. And then the 10 car is going to stay the same with driver Eric Almirola. But this might catch a lot of people off guard. Eric Almirola is on a contract here. Not the driver, but the sponsor is. So if the sponsor were not to resign, more than likely Eric Almirola is going to get the boot. But I think Smithfield is pleased with how Eric has been running recently. And I think they're going to resign for at least another year. So Almirola stays in the 10. And then after that, the 11 car is going to stay the same with driver Denny Hamlin. And then the 12 car is going to stay the same with driver Ryan Blaney. The 13 car is going to stay the same with driver Ty Dillon, who I think is going to do some good things in 2021 with the Germain team. The 14 car is going to be a big change up. Clint Boyer was the driver in 2020, and I think he's going to get the boot. And they're going to bring in Kyle Larson. But this has to, this is all relying on NASCAR, whether or not they reinstate Kyle or not. I think they will, but there's always a chance that they won't. If they won't, I think they might reconsidering keeping Clint Boyer, but at the same time, you get Chase Briscoe. But it's going to get really interesting for the Stewart-Haas camp this offseason. Then next, the 17 car is going to stay the same with driver Chris Buescher. And then the 18 car is going to stay the same with Kyle Busch. And V19 is going to stay the same with Martin Truex Jr. And then the 20 car, which was just announced a couple weeks ago, that Christopher Bell will be piloting this car in 2021, replacing Eric Jones, who as of right now has nowhere planned and lined up to race in 2021. So it's going to be interesting to see where I put him. But the 21 is going to take a big change up. Regardless of Matt DiBenedetto makes the playoffs or not, I think he's going to get the boot. NASCAR is a business, and I think the best business decision the whole organization, the Wood Brothers, can make is moving up Austin Cindric from the Xfinity Series to the Cup Series. I think he's going to do the same path as like your Ryan Blaney, where he went to the Wood Brothers, ouch, and raced there for a couple years. 2015 and 16, and then got his first win in 2017 at Pocono, and then moved to Roger Penske's team and drive the 12 car. And then he had Stenhouse drive the 21. Look at him now. But I think Cindric is going to race this 21 car for maybe 1 year. And then after that, possibly go drive the 2 car. And depending if Brad Keselowski stays or leaves. But it's going to get interesting there. But I think Austin Cindric is going to be the new driver of the 21, regardless of Matt DiBenedetto makes the playoffs or not in 2020. So there you go, Austin Cindric. And then the 22 car is going to stay the same with driver Joey Logano. The 24 car, this is a big season coming up. William Byron, I think, is going to stay in this car. But if he does not perform well in 2021, he's going to get the boot more than likely. Sponsors goes a long way, but so does winning. And he hasn't been winning too much, so I don't think Rick Hendrick's going to keep him around much longer if William Byron can't get the job done. And the 32 car, I think, is going to be driven by Chase Briscoe. Corey LaJoie recently announced that he is mutually parting ways with the whole Go Fast Racing organization. He was thankful for the opportunity, but he felt like he had to prove more things out, and he has an opportunity. A couple of teams lined up, so Corey LaJoie moved on from this whole organization. But the 34 car is going to take a big change up, and I think Matt DiBenedetto is going to stay with the Ford camp at least and go to front row. It's somewhat of a downgrade, but front row is not that bad of a team. So there you go, Matt DiBenedetto to the 34. All right here, I think Corey LaJoie finds himself a new home in the offseason. That's going to be at JTG Daugherty Racing, which is owned by Tag Schechter and then former NBA player Brad Daugherty. I think this is going to be a win-win for both sides. Corey has a lot of talent, and JTG Daugherty Racing is on a uphill swing, and they're going to be contending for wins at some point in time in the near future. So right now, Corey LaJoie is going to be in a good situation if he were to go to JTG Daugherty Racing in 2021. The 38 car is going to stay the same in my opinion. The 41 car is going to stay the same in my opinion, which is driver Cole Custer. He won at Kentucky earlier this year. I'm sure that turned a lot of heads in the sponsor side of things, and it would not surprise me a bit to see more people come on board and sponsor the 41 car. The 42 car is going to take a change up this offseason. I think Bubba Wallace is going to move over and bring some of his sponsors over that he recently got. DoorDash and Columbia. I think he's going to move them all at McDonald's. They can all go over to that organization. And that's going to leave the 43 car wide open. I think they're going to pick up, Richard Petty Motorsports is going to pick up Clint Bowyer. Richard Petty Motorsports right now is a top 20 car week in and week out. But Clint Bowyer is a type of driver that can turn a top 20 car into a top 15 car. He gets the most out of his equipment. Granted, his Stewart-Haas time and stint hasn't been really that well. But look what he did with Michael Waltrip Racing. Just look, honestly, they were not a championship caliber team until he went there in 2012 and carried them all the way to Phoenix, where he was still battling in the position to possibly win it until Gordon wrecked him out, and then we all know what happened there. Keselowski went to win it all. But imagine if Gordon did not wreck Bowyer. NWR would have won the championship more than likely. Just saying though, Bowyer gets the most out of his equipment. I think he's going to be the driver that could possibly turn around the whole Richard Petty Motorsports. So there you go, Bowyer to the 43. Then next, the 47 car is going to stay the same with driver Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Stenhouse is doing good. He turned a JTG Daugherty 47 car from 2019 from a top 30 car into a top 15 car. It's just impressive what Stenhouse is doing. Clearly, the 47 team is a lot better than the 17 team, which Stenhouse raced for in 2019. So Stenhouse is in a pretty good position, in my opinion. The 48 car is going to be have a new driver, obviously. Johnson announcing his retirement at the beginning of the year in January. And then this made a lot of people wonder who was going to replace him, but I think his teammate, Alex Bowman, is going to replace him in the 48 ride. And then next, you got Ross Chastain to the 77. I don't think this is going to be a full-time deal by any means, but I think Chastain will have a lot of races in the 77 ride for Spire Agency. And then next, you got the 88 car, which is right now driven by Alex Bowman. But like I said, I think he goes to the 48 car in the same organization, Rick Hendrick Motorsports. But I think Bowman needs some help on the sponsorship side of things and allies there in the 48 camp. So win-win. But they're going to bring in Eric Jones to drive the 88 car. He's going to probably bring a couple sponsors that he has now for the 20 car, maybe Craftsman. I don't know about DeWalt and Black and Decker. I just don't know. I know he's going to bring over a little bit of sponsorship money. So I think he's in a pretty good position. And then Spire Agency recently bought the Levine Family Racing Charter. And I think this is going to be their full-time car, the 95. And I think Michael McDowell is going to drive it. McDowell is going to be in the market, in my opinion. And I think he's going to be the best driver available for Spire Agency to pick up. And Michael McDowell will go back to the 95. And then the 96 car is going to stay the same with driver Daniel Suarez. Suarez has just been impressive this year. The 96 car is usually known for running last place. We can just be honest here. But this year, Daniel Suarez is now running top 30, top 25. It's just really good for Suarez. Things are going in the right direction. So Suarez is going to stay in that ride for at least another year. But this is going to be extremely interesting to see if all this were to happen in the rookie class. You're going to start off with young good driver Austin Cindric. Right now in the Xfinity Series, he has 5 wins. And then you have Chase Briscoe, in my opinion, that will go to the 32 car. And then you go all the way to the back. Ross Chastain will be competing for points for Rookie of the Year. It's just going to be extremely interesting to watch how things go. But everybody remember to please like and subscribe and comment down below if you agree or disagree with some of my predictions. I'm curious to know. Peace.